Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea-Horse Silk and Gold, where we engage with leaders to showcase their success stories as agents of change within their industries to inspire and encourage the current and future generations who will become leaders and decision makers in the global economic and business environment. In the first of our coffee tête-à-tête under the Tea-Horse Conversation series, we will discuss sustainability in the luxury brand industry. Sustainability has become an ubiquitous topic across all industries, and the luxury industry is no exception. Is sustainability the next frontier for luxury brands, we ask? The 21st century consumers and investors are demanding sustainable practices in their products, because they see themselves as brands and consequently elect labels that align with their personal positioning. This is all due to the rise of the ethically minded shopper. This behavior is driving brands to pursue innovative sustainability initiatives into their business model. So, how are luxury goods responding to this demand? In particular, the smaller personal brands that creatively collaborate with their teams and customers for specific needs. Today, we have with us Roberta Tondini, founder of Studio Tondini, a new luxury handbag brand of impeccable quality, which is conceptualized in Switzerland and made with fine Italian design. The bags are fine beauty in form, uniquely designed by hand for the professional woman. We will get to know Roberta and understand how she has incorporated sustainability into her business. Before we proceed, I'd like to introduce Roberta. Roberta read law and has her master's in law from Luke University in Italy. In addition, she has masters in international tax law, which she read at King's College London. She worked as a lawyer internationally with law firms in corporations in Italy, the UK, and Switzerland prior to founding Studio Tondini, where she is also the CEO. Hello, Roberta. Welcome to our coffee tête-à-tête under the Tea-Horse Conversation series, where we engage with leaders who create economic value via sustainable practice, such as good corporate governance, green investment, and social causes. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to join us here at Tea-Horse.
Hello, Savita. Thank you very much for having me today. And it's been a while since our last tête-à-tête in London, so I'm pleased to have a virtual one today. Thank you for having me at your Tea-Horse Conversation series.
It's lovely to have you here, Roberta. So let's start our conversation. Now, you're a qualified lawyer who worked internationally in Europe. What drove you to make a career shift and establish Studio Tondini, a luxury handbag brand?
That's a great question, Savita. Thank you for asking. I believe that business and fashion have actually been in my blood since ever, not only as an Italian, but also as the granddaughter of former high-end retail owners in my city of origin. The real cold, the light bulb, as you can say, moment started really when my career in law began. So I was sharing my frustrations with friends and colleagues about the bag which wasn't existing yet. So a bag which was not only luxurious and stylish, but also functional. And this bag I couldn't find for many years, not in Milan, where I started my career, not even in London a few years later, and in Zurich, where I'm living now. So one day, it was 2015, I started to sketch this ideal bag And in a very few time, a lot of designs were born. And the current collection and the upcoming ones actually benefit from the co-creations of our clients and also everybody which is in our network. So the bag of my dreams was of impeccable quality, well organized, and had this sense of luxury. So I hope that in Studio Tondini, every professional woman now can find the same that I was looking for.
Right. My God, Roberta, that's a very inspiring story indeed, and a courageous move from your legal career and adventure into the world of luxury fashion. In fact, during my earlier days as a barrister in London and Kuala Lumpur, if not to all the countries that I worked in, I struggled as well to find handbags which looked good and at the same time were spacious for my files or laptop.
You too, right? Incredible.
Yeah. So it is said that the fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world after oil and gas. Fashion houses nowadays are announcing their ambitious goals in relation to environment, social, and governance criteria for their businesses, right? So what measures has Studio Tondini taken to address the impact of its business in the environment that it operates and contribute to climate change?
Yeah, it is clear, Savita, to everybody that we need to shift the way we are doing business and to follow the rhythm of our planet. So when we talk about fashion being the most polluting industry worldwide, the second most polluting industry worldwide, actually we have to distinguish and see which type of fashion is creating this, which is mostly low quality fashion, low value fashion. So since our very first steps at Studio Tondini, it was very clear that we needed to add value and have efforts towards an environmental sustainability, a true one. And this, we believe, all starts with a short supply chain. It then continues with legislative standards and then with the daily choices. So when we talk about the short supply chain, I always think about the time we were living in London, Savita, when you could see blueberries in London in the supermarkets coming from Chile. Yeah. And for me, it was really crazy that blueberries could take a plane and do such a trip recurrently that most people haven't done. I mean, I haven't been to Chile myself, right? So for us, it was very important that everything, not only the bags, but also the materials the bags are made of, were sourced in Italy, and they are sourced very close to the factory where our handbags are made. So this way we ensure the smallest transport and we limit our footprint. Then talking about legislative standards, as you know, Italy is part of the European Union, which has very strict environmental regulations. So for instance, talking about leathers, all the production process of leather follows very tight legislative standards for the treatment of waste, for the treatment of wastewaters, and so on, which means that made in Italy leather is not only highly luxurious, but also highly green and clean for the environment. Yeah. And finally, it's also about the daily choices, because when we manufacture in Italy the components of our bags, then it means we have very high quality standards. And when high quality standards are kept in each of the components, and in the assembly, then a very high quality product is produced where it will last for a longer time and there will be less waste in the long term. To make you an example, I have a made in Italy bag of my mom, which is from the 60s. Wow. And I still use it and it still looks amazing. So believe me when I say it can last really for a long time. So all our choices, of course, reflect in a high price that we pay to our supply chain, and also the consumers pay to us. But this has the longest benefit, both for the customers and for the environment.
Yes, you're right, Roberta. You know, supply chain sustainability practices are very relative to the quality of the end product. And that is why it must also operate at high standards. And totally agree, you know, some of these bags from the 60s and 70s, they are in a superb condition, even in the 21st century now, because high standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me move to a little bit to a social perspective, I should say. The awareness of a fashion house's social sustainability practices influences the consumer's perception of brand as compared to their interest, I would say, in fashion. It is said that the affluent millennials in particular are more conscious of the social impact of their purchase and are more likely to buy from a brand that resonates with their personal value. What approach taken towards social responsibility at Studio Tondini?
So, Savita, we actually look at the social impact in the same way that we look at the environmental one. So standing up for excellence and quality, we try to have a consistent positive impact socially, not only for our customers, which is the main priority of any business, but also for the craftsmen and craftswomen and for the collectivity. So talking about customers, of course, when they participate with us to the creation of our bags, they really participate to building something that they will like and love for a long time and treasure. So that means they will not buy something temporarily, but something that they will love for a longer time. And also we share the stories of these women, the women behind the bags, so that our community can benefit from their example. Then talking about craftsmen and craftswomen, of course, if we keep working with Italian artisans, that means we are not diverting their very important know-how, a centuries-old know-how, the finest in the world for leather goods making, which means they won't lose their jobs, and actually more jobs will be created. A fun fact about the fashion industry is that it is one of the biggest employers in Italy. So imagine what would happen if the luxury industry would move from Italy to other countries. Then for the community, because we want to have a social impact extensively, so we do donate parts of the proceeds for each bag sold to a cause. And now we're supporting Days for Girls, which is a globally active US charity, which provides education and healthcare kits to girls just when they start their adult life. So that means that girls won't drop out of school and they will become the professionals of tomorrow. So we're very happy to support this. And for each bag sold, one girl is supported for up to 3 years.
Wow, that's super. Now, other than its social elements, what I was particularly attracted to that you mentioned, preserving and safeguarding intangible heritage, which is centuries old, helps in the understanding of different communities, intercultural dialogue, and encourages mutual respect for other ways of life, right? It's great to hear how you have endeavored to keep the know-how alive.
Thank you, Kavita. We're so proud of this.
Okay, so let's move to corporate governance, yeah, which is a key factor in sustainability, being the G in the ESG, as how some people know sustainability. What is the management style and work ethics at Studio Tondini?
So as you know, Savita, I've been working in all these countries, in Italy, the UK and Switzerland, in smaller, medium-sized or bigger organizations. So what I'm trying to put in Studio Tondini is really all the positive things that I've seen in all these organizations. So our approach aims at transparency, equity, and accountability. So we are truly committed to following very high standards, also for internally for our corporate governance, and this translates into a 360-degree policy of ethics. So from compliance to inclusion, from clear communication to openness. So just to give you an example, from day one, we wanted to offer alternatives to real leather in our handbags. Although we found the issue of finding one which was truly sustainable, because most of non-leather is usually derived from petrol, so from oil, which is the #1 polluting industry worldwide. So we really tried to source and to be very attentive to all the ingredients which went into these products. And we finally found a solution we're very proud of, which is as sustainable as leather, and will be incorporated in our upcoming collection. So a solution which is truly vegan and truly sustainable.
Wow, I'm waiting for this. So we've spoken a little bit about the practices. So let me dive into the correlation of sustainability practice and the financial results, or the financial performance, so to speak. Financial performance is, of course, always a key factor for a company. And could you throw some light on whether Studio Tondini sustainability practice has improved its financial performance, and or if there are some of the, what are some of the economic benefits you have derived?
Right. So yeah, we still consider ourselves a startup, Savita. So we grow with baby steps, and we don't have big investors to please. So we believe that financial performance is the result of all the measured steps we've been taking, and all our efforts. So this is translating and will translate into multiplied benefits in the future, as said, for the environment, for the community, and for us as well as entrepreneurs. So our image and reputation is already benefiting from the implementation of these practices. And this is testified by our presence in the shop of one of the top 5-star hotels in Switzerland, which is Beau Rivage Palace in Lausanne, and the publications on top fashion magazines such as Elle Swiss.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Roberta, for giving us an insight, right, into the workings of an exclusive handbag company and its approach to a good governance as well as sustainable business through the implementation of environmental and social responsibilities.
My pleasure, Savita. Thank you.
So in our tête-à-tête today, we focused on sustainability in the leather goods industry. We spoke to an exclusive handbag company and discovered how they have integrated sustainability practices in their business. Not only has sustainability become vogue amongst the consumers of 21st century, it also drives business and innovation, as well as operational efficiencies, lower energies, and less waste. Quite simply, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
In the long run, our planet is served better with low carbon energy, environmental sustainability, equality, and inclusive growth. Dear viewers, thank you for joining us today. We hope the conversation today gave you an insight on sustainability in the luxury industry. We look forward to have you join us in our next Tea Horse conversation.
Thank you for having me, Savita. It was lovely to see you. Bye.
Super nice to see you too, yeah. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to your handbags. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.